Welcome to the round 24 review for Supercoach 2023. It's George from Fantasy Take TV, the final review for the year. For this video, we'll go over some of our best and worst trades, some lessons from this year, and our approach to next year. Obviously, things will change with preseason and what's available, but I think just general thoughts and whatnot. And I think between now and the finals, when they start in about almost 2 weeks, I think we can do a little bit of 2024 content and then probably give it a rest for maybe do something in trade period and then give it a rest till it opens again around December-ish, so end of December. So overall this year, so this week 2,698, and just good for this week, I guess. Not too bad. Went up a little bit and ranked 1,289 for the year. So our last 6 ranks have been, I think, 350, 450, 350, 1,000, 2,000, and then now 1,200 or 1,300 this year. So would be nice to get off to a good start. The one time we did get off to a good start was 2021, and we went full guns and rookies that year. I think we had one mid-pricer in Tom Atkins because we were trying to figure out the forward line. Just had to fill it. And apart from that, that was our best start for the year. We didn't trade well. We were ranked 30 early in the year. So it makes me think if we generally don't start well in this game, but we have evidence of a year that we did start well where, last few years have been more mid-pricer heavy. That year I went more guns and rookies. Maybe we go guns and rookies again next year. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. And it also just eliminates the risk of more mid-prices fail than work. I guess this year you had your Flanders and your Bruin. Like maybe just passable, like not great, but passable if he was later in the year. But Flanders he's primo. So, and then Warp, I think we traded too early. So I think some of them prices were okay. Even like people had Nasai Wengen and Miller. He came really good towards the back end of the year or back half of the year, whereas he didn't start well. So a lot of the mid prices that were popular started poorly and did well, but at the same time, it's like their mid prices are unproven. They don't come with guarantees. When you look at it from a holistic point of view, given mid prices they didn't work last year, so no guarantee to work this year. So something to think about next year. I think probably go more guns and rookies. Get into open up the team, but preseason, I think too many changes in the preseason games. I think that we did. I think brought in Bruin. I think Gordon we brought in. I think we kind of had no choice at 45 touches. So, and he's in the forward line. So, I think more fantasy. I made way too many changes. I think I definitely had a failed year, and that finished around 9k, which is really bad, and haven't finished that bad in any format before. But I think we'll approach next year a bit more guns and rookies, maybe a little bit safer. The value part of the game I'm still trying to get my head around in terms of, is it okay to overpay for players or not? In fantasy, I think no, unless like maybe one or two exceptions like a ruck line or maybe there's a lack of alternatives. But in Supercoach, like, can you pay 700 for Bont next year? He's not in my current plans. I think it's too much. 650 for Oliver, 660. Yeah, I think I can pay that. Say 50k on Bont. Tim English. Do you pay 700 for Tim English? Well, he played a bit forward this week, and it worked. So is that something they look at next year? That's thrown a bit of a spanner into whether I want to start English or not for next year. But try and get the balance right. I've never minded overpaying a little bit for players, but it might be part of the reason why we haven't finished at the absolute pinnacle. But there's a lot of other factors too. So I think 2021 I did overpay for a few players though, but went full guns and rookies. So maybe I'll go for that approach and see how we go. But every year's different. Just quickly touch on how the team went very briefly. So Himmelberg was fantastic, and I'll pick him next year, and all is forgiven. I've been a little bit harsh on him, but he's been performing below what he's capable of. In the past month, we've seen, what's his 3 or 4 round? 3 round of 115, 5 round 100. That's sort of what he should have been doing, like 100 average. Day maybe a little bit sore. Weddle's been excellent cover for us. A bit lucky that we had a rookie scoring 70s. A lot of people would have had like a Chester or a Donut here. Fortunately, Weddle, or like Seamus Mitchell, I think he's been out of the team. So fortunately, the one we had did really, really well. And I was looking at probably getting Doherty as the 23rd, but the way things worked out, Weddle's probably outscored him given injury. So Weddle's been fine. Midfield, like George Hewitt is more than Steele. That's a bit of a worry. I won't be going Steele next year. Another thing for next year, I think the approach is, especially for the mids, I think we're seeing a bit of a changing of the guard for the mids. So like McRae, no good. He'll be forward status anyway. Steele was on the decline. Neil was great this year, but he's on the decline. Not in the same bracket as Steele or McRae, but yeah, he's still good, but you know, not the odd Neil of old. He'll be 31 now. Who else? Like Took is a confusing one because he's had injuries, but we see the young up and coming guys: Tom Green, Errol Gordon, Sarong, Butters, even Rosie. Like 107 average, probably not enough, but not too far off. So we're seeing young upcoming mids. The past 5 years, the midfield drafts have been really, really strong. Look at 2018, 2019 especially, with like Green and Rao. Even Rao could go to another level. So I think Gordon was 2020 and your Butters 2018. So we're seeing those guys starting to hit their peak or, you know, enter their prime, you know, 23-ish sort of age. And then yeah, still a bit of growing to go, but I think, you know, you look at starting midfielders, I think I like Tom Green, even though he's done a few hamstrings. I think he's just so good, and it's been the end of the year that he's had injuries, so maybe if you get like a 23rd by then, you can not be worried too much about that, but that's probably overthinking it. So like Tom Green, Butters, I think they can definitely outdo their price. Who else? Like Gordon's getting a bit of wing time. Do you go there? I think you definitely consider Gordon. And then you got like your Oliver will be okay. I think most people won't pick Merritt. He'll be 635. People prefer to go cheaper. You know, he gets tagged, so he's been more of an upgrade target. But I kind of just like him because he's so durable. But he's 28, which still should be prime. But if Parrish leaves, I might start him. But I think he's better upgrade because he gets tagged and he's max price basically. So yeah, I think the midfield will look different than it has to previous years. Like, you know, the old Oliver, Took, Steele, Miller, the past 2 or 3 years is no more. The only one left is Oliver, I guess. Yeah, he'll be a bit more fitter than he is at the moment. So yeah, we'll look at that next year. And then the rucks, yeah, English, Marshall. I don't think you pick Marshall at that price. I think Grundy will be 30 points less than Marshall. So probably pick Grundy when he's traded and then maybe flip out the buy or something. And then I don't really know who else because English is so expensive, but he's clearly R1. But if he's going to play a bit more forward, a little bit worried. But we'll monitor that in the preseason. Sean Darcy, as injury prone as he is, he can make money early, so he's one to look at. Briggs, I think, is probably his max, but Briggs is 23, so he could go to another level, so we'll watch him. And then the forward line, we're going to have nothing. I think we'll get Flanders, because he's been played at half forward a bit. His CBAs have been super high at times. Yeah, I think like last week was only 20 or 30%. We'll get, what is going on here? This is annoying. And then we'll get Bailey Smith for 440k. He's a watch. I am not fully confident in him, but if things align, maybe new club, it could work. If he's still at the Dogs and Bevo's at the helm, well, there's no guarantee for his role. So, and he's had a few injury issues as well. Durability hasn't been super great, but we know what he can do. Hopefully he can get back to his best, and I think will be priced pretty cheap, 440. I can't think of anyone else. Tom Lynch will be cheap. I think Zach Fisher's moved to halfback, but he's scoring I think he's dropped like a 50 and a 60 at halfback, but he's also dropped 2 tons. I was watching him today, made a fair few clangers, but might need like a new club that he can like maybe like North or something where they need halfbacks unless they're happy with what they're developing. Given they've lost Zeeble and Hole and whatever, and maybe they want to play Sheasel up the ground. So that's something to consider for next year. But I think Flanders is the only one in the forward line. If he gets it, that'll lock in. So approach to next year. I've kind of been saying it, but I think maybe more guns and rookies approach or mindset, and then work your way from there depending on role changes and whatnot. Definitely want to get a 23rd premium in Sports Deck. I finished 87th, which is equivalent of like 800th in Supercoach, but my rank was pretty not very good. I think it was like 350 in the buys, and slowly came in a lot because I had a 23rd player constantly fielding. I think it was Himmelberg was my 23rd, and I kept fielding Himmelberg instead of like a rookie. Like Tom Green I held, Sicilia held, and a lot of the time I was able to field a premium instead of a rookie, and it really adds up because like in Supercoach I've fielded Weddle like 8 or 9 times post buy. It's ridiculous. And I fielded MJ as well, but really need to get that 23rd, even 24 if you can. Like, maybe you start like a Hayden Young next year and you push him to D7, M9, and maybe Hayden Young, he could be a lot better than that, so who knows. But, Dacos have DPP, obviously you want him on the field all the time, but I think definitely want a DPP 23rd or 24th if you can get there, but we won't have like a free premium in Sheasel next year from the draft, I don't think, unless something I don't know, but we'll see. 23rd, definitely want to get that in for next year. More guns and rookies. So best and worst trade or trades. I think best trade, I think Andy Brayshaw we got for 530, and since then he's done about 115 for us. So he's been fantastic, and what's helped is people aren't tagging Brayshaw. If they go to the midfield, they tag Sarong. So that is good. So I like Andy, and I'll pick him next year. He's priced at 109. I think he can do 115 with less tags and fully fit. Obviously, he had the poor first 5 or 6 weeks because of had some nagging knee issue or something. I think Andy was a great trade in. I guess Himmelberg for 370's worked out. He's 500k now, and it helped us finish the team. Unfortunately, we did get rid of Sheasel at the same time, which was a mistake, but we banked 100k that we thought we needed. I think Butters we needed an M8, and we went for Butters, and Butters has just gone ballistic. I think when we got him, he didn't go super well. We got him like before, post buy, so a few down ones here. If we look here, like 81, 84, not terrible, like 109, a few hundreds here. So we got him at round 16, I think. And he was okay to finish the team. We could have got anyone else, but these last 5 games, 140 average. So he was a good trade in. Could have got him much earlier, and then probably Sicily, even though he got suspended on the week that he scored 117, we VC'd him. That was probably a good move, but can't predict the suspension. And then worst trades. There's a few. I got rid of Finn Callahan too early. I think the worst ever has to be Ben Hobbs for 470k. I think I've said in previous videos, when you get a rookie in, don't pay 470. So his 5 round is, we've been benching him anyway. His 5 round is 69, which is about how long we've had him. So we have even got 70 average from him. So it's been a disaster trade, and it's meant we had to field we couldn't even loop him because like Roberts was so awkward to loop because he was sub and he played early. So and then Marich as well was played most weeks, so we couldn't even loop him. So worst trade, definitely Hobbs. Oh yeah, George Shit was a good trade for us, 280k. He's probably helped us win our cash leagues or win one of them. And yeah, another bad one was Jack Steele, unfortunately, 530k. What's his 5 round? 85, back to trash. So was bad when we got him for 8 weeks, then had a good 5-week patch, like scored this 160, 140, and then it's back to trash. So I won't be picking Steele, but yeah, he's been like I would say Hall of Famer for Supercoach, even though it was a few years there. Like 2 125 plus seasons, I think that's pretty rare to have, and then a few 110s in there as well. Maybe one or two, I can't remember. So, yeah, I think that's it. We'll wrap it up there. Hope you had a good season. Let me know in the comments if you're still watching by now. I know it's that time of year, but lessons for next year, who you first picked and whatnot, and yeah, any thoughts about this year or next year. So, and that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.